Hello everyone, welcome back to the Docker Essential series. My name is Dheeraj, and till now we have covered a lot of concepts in this series, from basic containers to complex multi-container applications. But there is one critical topic that separates development setups from the production-ready systems. That is reliability. What happens when your container crashes? How do you know if your application is actually healthy, not just running? So we think that the container is up and running, that means our application is running. No, the container running is separate and the application inside the container running is different. So today we are diving into two essential production features. One is Docker health checks and the other is restart policies. So health checks monitor if your application is functioning properly, and restart policy automatically recovers from the failures. By the end of this video, you will know how to make your containers resilient and production ready. This is the final piece of the puzzle for running Docker in production. So let's get started. Let's understand the production reliability problem. When you run Docker PS, you see if the container is up or exited. But up only means the container process is running. It doesn't mean your application inside that container is actually working correctly. Imagine a database container that's up but crashes internally and isn't accepting any connections, or a web server that's running but deadlocked and returning 500 errors to all the users who are trying to connect to your web server. The container technically didn't crash over here, so Docker thinks everything is working fine, but your users can't use the service. This is a critical gap between container status and the application health. In development, you might notice issues quickly and manually restart the containers. But in production, with potentially hundreds of containers running, you can't manually monitor and restart everything. You need automation. This is where health checks and restart policies comes into picture. Health checks actively verify that your application is functioning correctly, not just that the container is up and running. Restart policy tells Docker what to do when the container fails or stops. Should it restart them automatically? And if it restarts them automatically, how many times it should restart? These features transform Docker from a container runtime into a reliable production platform. Without them, you are flying blind and manually fighting fires. With them, your containers are self-healing and resilient. Docker provides 4 restart policies that control what happens when the containers stop. The default policy that you see over here is restart is equal to no, meaning Docker never automatically restarts the container. If it crashes or exits, it stays stopped until you manually restart it. This is fine for your development servers, but it is not good for your production servers. The second one is restart is equal to on failure policy. So this policy restarts the container only if it exits with a non-zero exit code, that is indicating an error. If your application crashes due to a bug, Docker restarts it automatically. But if you manually stop the container with Docker stop command, it stays stopped because that's a clean shutdown with exit code 0. When you're going to do Docker stop, the Docker name or ID, it is going to stop gracefully. So it is going to return the exit code as 0. But if it crashes at that time, it is going to return the exit code as 1. Now, the third one is the always policy. It's more aggressive. Docker restarts a container regardless of the exit code, whether it is 0 or 1, even if you manually stopped it by using Docker stop command. Moreover, when the Docker daemon starts, containers with the always policies are automatically started. This ensures your services come back after system maintenance or unexpected reboots. Finally, the last one is the unless stopped. So unless stopped is very similar to always, but one key difference over here is if you explicitly stop a container using a Docker stop command, it stays stopped even after daemon is been restarted. This gives you manual override capability while still providing automatic recovery from the crashes. For production, you will typically use the second one, that is always, or the last one, that is unless stopped, for critical services. These policies make your containers resilient to crashes, server reboots, and other failures without manual intervention. So in Docker Compose, restart policies are even easier to configure, as you can see over here. So let's break it down. Under each service, you can add a restart key. So this is the restart key that I am talking about. See, under each service, under web service, I have restart key. DB service, I have restart key. Under cache service, I have a restart key. So you might use restart unless stopped for your database. So it respects manual stop during maintenance that you're performing on your database. For less critical services, you can use restart on failure, which might be appropriate for Redis, that is for the cache that we are using. Now, Docker Compose also supports advanced restart configuration using the deploy section. You can set max attempt to limit how many times the Docker tries to restart a failing container. This prevents infinite restart loops if a container is fundamentally broken and it is again and again going to restart. So you can also set a delay that you can see over here inside deploy. We have delay over here. So you can also set, this is a delay between restart attempts, giving the system time to stabilize. For example, suppose if you spinned up your container, it might take around 10 to 20 seconds to come up. But if you have kept the delay less than that, it is again and again going to restart, and it is never going to restart because its warm up time itself is 10 to 20 seconds. So always set max attempt over here in the deploy policy. So for services that might fail repeatedly. So for example, if your application crashes 10 times in a row, something is fundamentally wrong with your build that you have done. And infinite restart won't stop until you are giving a max attempt. So max attempt says that if it fails maximum 3 times, you will restart it. These policies should be critical for your initial Docker Compose setup. You should not add it later as an afterthought. They are essential for production reliability. Now let's understand health checks. So we just spoke about the restart policy. Now it is the health check. So health check is a command that Docker runs periodically to verify your application health is working correctly. Previously, we were verifying if the container is up and running with restart policy. Now we are verifying if the application inside that container is working properly. The command can be anything. It can be an HTTP request, a database query, a ping, whatever makes sense for you to understand that your application is up and running. Now, the command returns an exit code, which is 0 means it is healthy. Your application is performing well. Non-zero means it is unhealthy. Based on this, Docker updates the container's health status. You can define health checks in your Docker file using the health check instruction. So let's break down this syntax that you can add in your Docker file. So over here, we will start with interval is equal to 30 seconds. It means run the check after every 30 seconds. Next is timeout 3 seconds. Means if the command that you have run doesn't complete within 3 seconds, consider the command has failed. Now the retry means the container is only marked unhealthy after 3 consecutive failures. This prevents false alarm from temporary glitches. For a cache, that is the Redis that we saw in our last one, you can use a ping command instead of using a curl command. So right now, when you run this curl -f HTTP localhost, it tells you whether the application is healthy or not. So if it is healthy, it is going to go ahead and give 0. If not, it is going to exit at 1. So the key is choosing a check that actually verifies the functionality of your application, not just that the process is up and running. Health checks gives you visibility into your real application health, not just container status. They are the difference between knowing a container is running and knowing it's actually serving the request, that is the user request. So how you define that in Docker file, let me show you over here. So this is our Docker file that we have used in our previous video. I have just added this section over here. So now this is going to be embedded with our build itself. So this is going to be the health check which is going to be performed. Now, in Docker Compose, health checks are defined in a service configuration. Service means, as you remember, we actually define each container as a service. So the test field specifies the command to run. So under health check, the first parameter that you see is the test. You can use a array format like cmd, curl, then you can use -f, and so these are multiple commands, right? And then HTTP localhost or a shell format like cmd shell. So over here, you can see I have used one cmd, then another one I have used cmd shell. So this is an array where you can use multiple commands. Now, next comes the interval. The interval is how often to run the check. Then comes the timeout. The timeout is how long to wait for the command to run. Then comes retry. A retry is how many consecutive failures before making it unhealthy. Notice the start period setting over here. This is very crucial. It's a grace period during container startup before health check count towards the retry limit starts. As I said, sometimes a container warm-up time is 20 to 30 seconds. So if your application takes 30 seconds to initialize, you can set the start period to 40 seconds. So Docker don't prematurely mark it as unhealthy during the startup itself of the container. Now, let's talk about another example. So this was for web server that we were talking, web server service. Now we are going to talk about the Postgres. So for Postgres, we can use pg is ready. So pg is ready that you see over here, the cmd shell command that I have used, and I am passing the username, but you can also pass the username along with the password. So let's see an example over here. So if you go over here, so what I'm doing is I'm using pg is ready, and then based on our environment variable, I'm passing the username and password so it can log in and then it can perform that specific check that we are looking forward for. So it is a tool specifically designed to check if Postgres is accepting connections. This is better than just checking if the process of database is up and running. Each application type should have an appropriate health check. So the goal is to check that genuinely verifies the service is ready to handle request or not. Health check in Compose make your entire stack self-monitoring with every service reporting its actual health status. Now the real power comes from combining health checks with the restart policy. So now we are going to combine both of them. So look at this complete example now. Now over here, the API service has restart. So we are talking about this service. So it has a restart as unless stopped. So it automatically recovers from crashes. It also has a health check hitting a uh, uh, health check URL where it is going to hit the health to understand if the application is up and running. Docker marks it unhealthy if it is not up and running. So here's where it gets powerful. The API service uses depends on with condition service healthy. Now this is an advanced part. So what exactly is been done over here? So if you see, we have one more section depends on. So now we are saying that this service depends on the healthy status too. So we have added that as a parameter. So this means Docker waits for the database to not just start, but to become healthy before starting the API, which is going to serve the request to the database. This solves a common problem. Your API tries to connect to database before it's ready and crashes. With health conditions, startup is properly sequenced. Now, if the database becomes unhealthy later, you can configure orchestration to restart dependent services. This combination provides multiple layer of reliability, automatic restarts on crashes, continuous health monitoring, and intelligent startup sequencing. Your containers don't just start and hope for the best, they actively verify the functionality and recover from the problems automatically. So this is a production grade container management, that example that you see. You sleep better at night knowing your services are self-healing and you don't have to make the changes manually. Let's consolidate the production best practices now. So before consolidating the production best practices, I updated our Docker example that we have used in our previous video, Docker Compose. Over here, I am adding health checks for 4 different services. One is for web server. Over here, see, I am using HTTP localhost to see if the uh, service is, if it is really serving the traffic which is coming in. Then for API, I'm going ahead and checking the health parameter to see if the API is working. Then for database, I am using the PG is ready to which is going to check if the data Postgres SQL is ready. And for the cache, we are using ping command. So as I said, for different services, we are going to use different commands. So for this command, we are using for this service, we are going to use ping command, which helps us to understand if the cache service is up and running. Now, for restart policies, always use always or unless stopped for critical production services. These ensure service come back after crashes and reboots. Set max attempt to prevent infinite restart loops. If a container fail 5 times in a quick succession, something is definitely wrong and something is broken and a manual intervention of a human is required. So monitor how often containers restart. Frequent restarts are a symptom of underlying problems that need fixing, not masking it with automatic restarts. For health checks, ensure they test actual functionality. That is the application functionality which is there inside your container. Don't just check if the port is open, verify the application responds correctly. If your app takes time to initialize database or load data, set an appropriate start period. As I showed you, we have set the start period as 40 seconds in our previous slide. So it's not marked unhealthy during the legitimate startup time that it is going to take. Keep health checks lightweight. They run every 10 to 30 seconds. So expensive operations would waste your resources and would incur extra cost. Many production apps implement a dedicated /health endpoint that returns 200 OK if healthy, making checks simple and fast. For monitoring, integrate Docker health checks with your monitoring systems like Prometheus, Grafana, or cloud monitoring tools. Alert when containers are stuck unhealthy. Health checks are only useful if someone knows there is a problem. If there is a problem, you should send an email notification, Teams chat notification to the support team. So you can do all this integration by using the health checks. So log restart events to understand patterns and root causes. So whatever is happening, make a knowledge base out of it. So you know what is the pattern, and based on that, you can have a recovery policy or a recovery plan that you already set for it that can be later automated. These practices transform Docker from a container platform into a reliable production infrastructure. Now, thank you for watching. This is the final video in our Docker Essential series. Congratulations, you have completed the entire series. You now understand Docker from ground up. If you enjoyed this video and this series and want to keep learning step by step, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the upcoming new series after this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next series.